more trending templates are...
Oh, this week, Donald Trump actually did it. His Gaza peace plan was accepted. AI slop videos are wreaking havoc on the internet this week. The winner of the Nobel Peace Prize was announced, and you'll never guess who it was. Drake just got cooked by a judge. Cristiano Ronaldo has just made history yet again. Oh, and it's North Korea's birthday. Who would have thought? All of that and so much more. We are only 5K away from 900,000 subscribers. So I think that is time to stop the yapping and let's get cracking. Okay, guys, that is it. I freaking held off from talking about this last week, but now these AI Sora videos are getting out of hand. Not only do we have Jake Paul converting to Islam in one video,
Allahu Akbar, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen,
and then coming out as gay in the next.
An announcement in 3, 2, 1. I'm gay!
I found glitter jakies just before fall season fully took control. Honey, it's a little toady and she will not stop chirping. Listen to her. It's a slayer like us. Have a good one, guys. Mwah.
But now, both the daughters of Robin Williams and Martin Luther King, they are having to go as far as begging the public to
Mic test, mic test.
them, beg them, stop sending
Let's start with the news
videos of our fathers.
and eat. And then we're gonna go for reaction to a new.
This is not what he would have
Try not to laugh.
And they're not making art, but rather disgusting, overprocessed hot dogs out of the lives of human beings. MLK's daughter said, "I concur concerning my father. Please stop." Bro, and let me explain to you what I mean. Sora literally allows you to create MLK's world-famous "I have a dream" speech into this. But here's the thing, kind of like how I mentioned last week, it doesn't stop there. Major, like largest creators in the world, in fact, are now also speaking out against AI. Mr. Beast said these are, quote, scary times, and then expressed concern on how this will impact millions of creators in the future. Casey Neistat, as we mentioned last week, said,
"My analysis, we are so completely..."
And then also just yesterday, the massive YouTube channel Kyrgyzstan, in a nutshell, they have almost 25 million subscribers, posted a video yesterday titled "AI Slop is Killing Our Channel." But here's the question, where does this even stop? Because Casey Neistat asked his own team if they would eventually get sick of it, and they said this.
And you don't think that like the AI slopness of it's gonna get boring?
No, I think it's only get better. Yeah.
But you don't think people are gonna get sick of the fact that it's AI?
No. Because it's yourself. You're inserting yourself into anything.
Yeah.
Like
It's getting crazy.
Able to do everything.
By the way, people, I'm eating at the same time, so if I'm quiet, I'm trying to chew.
Over. Yeah, it's over.
But here's the thing, it's not flat out bad. You know, there are many people that argue that this democratizes creativity, similar to how social media democratized entertainment, giving the power to the individual so that one day they can compete with the likes of Hollywood and large corporations like them. But then others say we're cooked. Like, for example, Robin Williams' daughter said, "Stop calling AI the future. AI is just badly recycling and regurgitating the past to be reconsumed." And then she likened it to taking in the human centipede of the content, and we are the ones consuming right from the end of the human centipede, which is a very dark reference if you've watched the movie, which, good lord, I hope you haven't. I mean, it begs the question.
Bonaire, nature's discount.
I haven't.
Your performance with energy, endurance, and recovery supplements.
Looking to spice up your world?
Oh my god.
We're here to
Stop.
help. With server hosting for over 80 games.
Unskippable ads are annoying.
Cooked. Seriously, what do you guys think? Because I will be honest, some of the AI videos that I've watched that have generated on Sora, they are undeniably hilarious. Especially the Jake Paul ones. Bro, I don't even want to go into it, but damn!
I just wanted to share something with you guys. A lot of you have been wondering, and yeah, we're together.
Yep, he's my boyfriend.
But then, in saying that, is that not the main problem? Because if they are genuinely hilarious and entertaining, then even if you spend, let's say, 30 minutes watching AI slop content a day, that's 30 minutes that is being taken away from watching a real human, a real creator. And then if that 30 minutes goes up to 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, you've only got so many hours in a day to watch content, unless you just plug our heads in and then... Dog days. And I don't want to hear one petition to start an AI version of myself. I'm already being cloned. That's called news, baby. And let's not even get into that. What do you guys think? I genuinely, let's flood this in the chat. I only want to know what your guys' thoughts are on this. Moving on. Okay, this next story is truly wild. I was pretty shocked when I heard this. So, you know those devastating wildfires that tore up LA earlier this year? Well, on Wednesday, police arrested a 20
Yeah, those were crazy.
They believe, quote, maliciously started the Pacific Palisades.
Ain't no way there was a person that started this shit. I thought it was natural causes. I'll read this offline, but that is crazy.
Fires, which is the largest of them all, and arguably, and this is still out for debate, you know, triggered most of them. And let me just remind you, the total fires in LA this year, they led to the death of dozens of people and the destruction of thousands of homes. Like, genuinely, I remember seeing the content that came out of the fires early this year, and it truly looked
How the fuck
like the apocalypse. In fact,
would one guy pay for all the damages he caused? For what? What the actual bro?
the
Holy
damages
shit.
alone and the capital loss for these fires was up to 130
Exactly.
billion. With a
B.
B. It was
But
one of the most
literally
damaging
fucking
fires
B.
in LA's history. Now just imagine being the individual responsible for starting that. That is generational debt. Now, speaking of, this is the man allegedly responsible. His name is Jonathan Rinderknecht. Sorry, it's a German name, and I think that's
The
pretty
fuck?
good. Any Germans in the chat? Rinderknecht. Rinderknecht. Pretty good. Anyway, he was an Uber driver at the time, and
Finger
he
neck?
allegedly started the initial fire 12 minutes into the new year, January the 1st. So, bro really said, this year better be lit. That's atrocious. That is atrocious.
Actually
put the
atrocious.
puns in the comments. Now, he called 911, he fled the scene, but apparently he later returned to take videos of the firefighters. And what makes it worse is that police suggest that this wasn't just some spur of the moment, whoa, 2025, let's light a little fire. No, they suggest that this was a premeditated, and I'm getting a phone call because I always do. God suck. The police said that when he went onto the hilltop where he started the fire, he listened to a rap song, the music video of which included objects being lit on fire. And then they said that he was listening to this song on repeat in the days preceding the fire. In addition to that, they also said that the extensive digital evidence that they seized from his devices included an image that he generated on ChatGPT depicting a burning city and people fleeing. And if that's what he allegedly wanted, then that's exactly what he got. Now, a criminal complaint shows that he will be charged with the destruction of property by means of fire. That's a federal charge, so that could be up to 20 years in prison if found guilty. And then on top of that, authorities say that additional charges may be added for those who were killed. And if that is the case, and he is found guilty, he's looking at decades to life. Easily life. But one of the wildest parts that I found about reading this was like, we are in October now. That is 10 months later, I'm sure. And he fled the state. He was living in Florida. So he'd moved. It was 10 months later. I'm sure bro was thinking, sweet, I think we got away with this one. And then suddenly out of nowhere, bam, facing decades in prison. Wild. Moving on. Also, pretty massive news if you haven't heard. Yesterday, Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a peace deal. And if you were thinking, oh, we've heard this before and this is not big news, well, let me tell you something. This note handed to Trump right before it was announced is the reason that this Gaza peace plan is different to the ones we've seen before. And here's why. Now, the note was written by Marco Rubio while Trump was in the middle of a roundtable discussing domestic issues. Domestic issues. Hey, why is my smoke machine not on? Sorry, Alex, for getting sidetracked. It's one of my favorite things to do, really. Woo! Is this supposed to be doing this? Okay, this is not supposed to be happening. How the f do I shut this off? How the f do you turn it off? Holy shit! Oh my god! Stop! What the hell was that? This is dangerous! Why was I never warned about this? Oh my god. I don't think this is possible to record in here now. Can you even see me? This is so smoky. I don't think this is good to breathe in. What the heck? You see, this is the problem when Maddie goes out. News Empress. Oh god, I'm just gonna have to continue. Where was I? Smoke machine is banned after this. I'm sorry, let me get back to it. Now, the cameras in the room were just able to pick up what it said. Very close. We need you to approve a Truth Social post soon so you can announce the deal first. And the reason Trump wanted to be first is because it is his deal. That is what's different about this, and it's actually being treated very differently than the last ceasefire as well. I mean, today, it is pretty much the only thing that the media are talking about, calling it significant and monumental, which they didn't necessarily do for the last one. People in both Israel and Gaza are celebrating. We can see videos of them celebrating after hearing the news. And perhaps one of the reasons why is because for Israel's prime minister, the stakes are very different this time around. You see, Netanyahu has long been accused of sabotaging previous peace deals. But crucially, those peace deals didn't necessarily have Trump's name on them. Trump didn't own them like he's owning this one. And many argue that the United States, and its president for that matter, is the only country in the world that could potentially have an influence or pressure Israel to end the war. And let me tell you, this time around, Trump has actually been putting a lot of pressure on Netanyahu, but also a lot on Hamas. So what should, in theory, happen next, now that both sides have agreed on the first phase, is the last Israeli hostages home by Monday, hundreds of Palestinian prisoners released, the withdrawal of Israeli troops, an influx of aid into Gaza, a stop to the fighting, and potentially even Trump visiting the Middle East himself. That is where days of intense negotiations were taking place to make this happen. Now, will all of those things that I outlined happen? Well, many believe it's not possible because there are still so many very difficult issues that have not yet been agreed. But today, there has been some progress. We are now getting the first images of thousands of people returning to northern Gaza after the Israeli government actually approved and finalized the phase 1 agreement of the ceasefire. Now, many of these individuals will be returning to homes that are reduced to rubble, but what will also be returning into Gaza will be 600 aid trucks carrying food, medical equipment, shelter supplies, fuel, cooking gas, and this will reportedly not just be 600, but 600 trucks a day. The Israeli army said that the truce deal went into effect at 12 p.m. local time, and then in accordance with this deal, they have now begun withdrawing their troops to the agreed upon line. Now, what that also means is that the 72-hour countdown has begun for Hamas to release those 20 hostages who are believed to be alive. And that is really one of the points where if they don't, or if there's any complications in that, then in 72 hours, we're probably going to see it break down.
What guarantees Hamas disarms and that Israel doesn't resume bombing once the hostages are released?
The first thing we're doing is getting our hostages back. And after that, we'll see.
So, hopefully, things go smoothly, but what do you guys think? Is this finally the real deal, or yet another soon to be broken? Let me know your thoughts. Moving on. Also, speaking about Trump, bro is gonna be pissed at this next news. Now, the winner of this year's Nobel Peace Prize has been announced, and it's gone to Maria Machado. And no, that's not how you say Donald Trump in Spanish, okay? Maria is actually the leader of the opposition party in Venezuela, and she's been praised for fighting for democratic rights in the country. The Norwegian Nobel Committee called her a brave and committed champion of peace since she's had to go into hiding. She's been living in hiding for about a year due to threats against her life. But despite this, she has never fled the country.
In a few minutes, it shall be announced here at the Nobel Institute that you will be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025.
Oh my God.
Now, Trump has been continuously saying that he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize because he's ended multiple wars. And then on top of that, this Gaza truce came into effect. And, you know, a lot of people were kind of saying, actually, even the Washington Post, they wrote an article saying, yes, Trump deserves the Peace Prize. In fact, let me quote it for you, because remember, the Washington Post, Washington's a very liberal city. I think it was like over 90% that voted for Kamala. And the writer argued not only does Donald Trump deserve the Nobel Peace Prize, but there's arguably never been an American president who deserves it more. But one thing to keep in mind for all of those who believe that Trump should have won is that the submissions for the Nobel Peace Prize actually ended in January. And that's just a couple of weeks after Trump took office. So a lot of people are saying that actually next year is Trump's year, if ever, for the Peace Prize. But I mean, either way, if Norway gets hit with 100% tariffs tomorrow, we'll know why. Stephen Chung, actually the White House Director of Communications, was one of the first to respond to this decision, and he said the Nobel Committee proved they play politics over peace. President Trump will continue making peace deals, ending wars,
Be right back, chat. I'll leave the video play, but I'll be right back.
and saving lives. He has the heart of a humanitarian, and there will never be anyone like him who can move mountains with the sheer force of his will. So the question is, what do you guys think? Should he have won it? Should he not have won it? Moving on. Also this week, guys, it's happened again. New Zealand's parliament has erupted into chaos after some of its members and also those in the viewing gallery started performing the haka. Oh, and it was so funny because this is despite the Speaker of the House saying that he was guaranteed this wouldn't happen.
No, not that. The guarantee was that would not be taking place.
Oh, bro really said, you promised me. Now, they went on to completely ignore him, basically, and he was like, that's it. Parliament suspended. He walked out. A bunch of other people walked out, and they continued. They finished the haka, and the actual reason for this one, unlike the last one, which was a form of protest, this one was actually just to welcome the newest member of the parliament, who belongs to the Maori party, and she made her first speech. So this was to give her a traditional welcome. But what do you guys think? You know, is this a nice gesture, or is it too much disruption and it should not happen in parliament? Let me know your thoughts. Moving on. Okay, I think it is time for something we haven't heard of in a long time. And that is, can you guess it? Cristiano Ronaldo has just made history yet again. Can this man stop breaking records for 1 week? Ronaldo has just become the first football player in history to become a billionaire. In history, guys. Now, this is according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, who just estimated his net worth at 1.4 billion. And they tend to underestimate these things. So, bro might have been a billionaire. And you know, it's crazy to think that, as we spoke about in last episode, Barron Trump, at the ripe age of 19, is almost like 10% of the way there without even kicking a ball. And also, how dare you guys say that the only thing that Barron Trump has ever done is become Barron Trump? He had to teach his father how to use cryptocurrency, and then he negotiated a 10% cut of the company. I think that's worth 150 milli. Oh, and just for the messy
Okay, back.
chat, he is estimated to be worth a measly 850 million. Measly. Next. Also, big news on the Stranger Things Season 5. Because I don't even think we can call it a series anymore. I think Ronaldo has just become the first football player in history.
Sorry, I had to go back. I missed that.
A billionaire. In history, guys. Now, this is according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, who just estimated his net worth at 1.4 billion. And they tend to underestimate these things. So, bro might have been a billionaire. And you know, it's crazy to think that, as we spoke about in last episode, Barron Trump, at the ripe age of 19, is almost like 10% of the way there without even kicking a ball. And also, how dare you guys say that the only thing that Barron Trump has ever done is become Barron Trump? He had to teach his father how to use cryptocurrency, and then he negotiated a 10% cut of the company. I think that's worth 150 milli. Oh, and just for the messy fans in the chat, he is estimated to be worth a measly 850 million. Measly. Next! Also, big news on the Stranger Things Season 5. Because I don't even think we can call it a series anymore. I think it can be called a bunch of movies. We're gonna get a number of movies. Because reports and rumors are going around saying that every episode will be about 90 minutes to 2 hours long. That is crazy. Has there ever been a longer episode for a series?
What the
ever?
fuck?
I don't know. And apparently there's going to be about 8 episodes. So 8 episodes up to 2 hours each? What are they cooking up? I feel like I'm in the...
Density is a tool to record your DJ set and master it after.
Now that's a final season, damn.
Upside down in here. Jesus! Why aren't you going out? And not only that, but also the budget for each one of these episodes is reportedly between $400 million and $480 million. These guys must have money to print. Insane. Now, when this is released, apparently it will go down as one of the most
I
expensive
just want 100K. I don't want no 400 million for one. What the fuck?
Lives up to the hype. Moving on. Also, this one, I think for everyone in California, you'll be happy to hear about, and I think everyone should do this. California, they have just banned ads that are too loud. Now, a little bit of an explanation. You're watching Stranger Things Season 5, and an ad break comes in, and then it's suddenly so much louder than the actual thing, and you're racing to turn it down. Well, that's specifically what they're banning. They want everything to be the same, which is fair enough. Which is also kind of funny, since it must be such a big problem that it made its way all the way up to government.
You are a troll.
To then put it into law. How much did it piss you guys off? I didn't even really notice it. And then it also makes me think, like, how did that actually get passed and even come to attention? Like, we got a lot of issues to deal with right now, and that
Right, exactly.
there. Next, also, Drake was just cooked by a judge because his defamation lawsuit against one of Kendrick Lamar's songs. Here we go again.
Oh my god, this is still going?
Now to clarify, he didn't directly sue Kendrick himself. The lawsuit was against the Universal Music Group who published the song Not Like Us. And everyone was saying at the time, like, bro, it's a rap battle. Why are you suing for it? But he says that, you know, Kendrick accused him of being a PDF file. And so Drake was like, all right, we're suing for defamation. But the judge ruled that this is merely non-actionable opinion. They said that no one actually thought that, you know, he was accusing you of being a PDF file. So Drake, I'm sorry, bud. Get out of here. Next. Also, big party coming up in North Korea.
Cool.
It's officially the 80th year of the Workers' Party in North Korea. So Kim Jong-un and the ruling party having a big old celebration. Dictatorship. Woo!
What is happening? This is way too long. Skip.
And they're going to be celebrating the only way they know how. Rockets. Actually, according to CNN, Kimmy has invited several foreign dignitaries this weekend, and they're going to be having a big parade in the capital city of Pyongyang, and they're going to be showing off the country's latest military hot. It's always about showing off military equipment nowadays, huh? Now, the thing is, I did ask to go to America's 250th, and that video's linked there. I then threatened America to ask to go to China's birthday. Dare I ask to go to North Korea's?
No.
Alex is panicking right now. He knows the edits that he's done about. All that we've got now to work off of is satellite images from foreign satellites, news reports, and Alex's vivid imagination. Now, we have made a lot of jokes about North Korea, so I do think if we went to North Korea's birthday, we would never come back. Or I would never come back. Moving on. And then, lastly, we have to address,
no comment,
as promised, the civil war brewing in the News Daddy comments right now. It pains me to see. There is a very clear divide in the empire right now. We have the petitioners on one side, the group of petitioners, and the petitionless on the other side. One side are ravenous for more petitions. The other side are ravenous for more discussion on the news exclusively. In fact, a spokesperson for the petition list said, too many petitions and less focus on the topics. Let's do more focus on the topics by discussing. And then, kind of ironically, another member of the petition list started a petition to end petitions. So which one is it? Which one is it, honorable member? This is all while the petitioners' party are thriving in the comment section. They're getting thousands of votes and signatures and begging for the fun times to never end. So we are in a bit of a dilemma. I'm not gonna lie to you. And this is the last thing the gracious and peace-loving Supreme Leader would ever want. We don't want civil war. So, I will ponder a solution over the weekend, and I will present to you my 20-point peace plan next week. But speaking of successful petitions, do not worry, I have not forgot. You are owed 2, right? The Empress will, I'm discussing with her, present a segment of the news soon. And then I also, the Supreme Leader, will be organizing an edit of it soon, okay? We just have to figure out the logistics. But petitions made and petitions kept, all right? That's the quote of the channel. Anyway, I think that is probably where we wrap up because my lungs are gonna probably need surgery after this. I don't want to live to see tomorrow. So, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Have one on me, and whatever your vice is, have it. Have one, only one. But until Monday, I'll see you then.